This is Andrew with Joya Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today, June 23rd, 2025. We're at 3035 East La Joya Drive. We have the camera pushed out 140 feet. We're not quite to the city connection. I'm hitting an offset in the line, but I can't get my camera over. I'd say it's a pretty decent sized offset. I'd call it moderate. Definitely far from the worst that I've seen, but it's big enough that I can't get my camera over it. And I think part of that is because we're so far out. If I was closer, I think I could get my camera over that. I also can't put a skid on my camera head to hop over little offsets like that, because there was some sort of a blockage in the line, and so I had to take my skid off to be able to push my camera through. So an offset like that can cause a blockage. Waste could get stuck, and if enough waste gets stuck, it can start to back up towards the house. The other issue is that we're not seeing the entire line. So we're seeing probably a majority of it, but not quite to the city connection yet. This looks like clay pipe, both the color and also the amount of joints. Pretty common for the age. This part looks like you have good grade. Couple small roots on that joint, not huge. Just paying attention to make sure that wasn't that we weren't dropping into the main line there, but I don't think we are. That doesn't look like it's feeding into a line. It just looked like it was a turn. If that were dropping into a different line, that would be more indicative of hitting the street. A little bit of cast iron through here. Cast iron gets real rough and rusty and will eventually need to be replaced. And this looks like transite. Which is cement asbestos. It's a longer line than what I would expect. I'm going to go back and watch the video and watch that turn again and make sure that wasn't dropping into the city line and that it was actually a turn. Starting to go through some more cast iron. I would always recommend having cast iron cleaned. And right through here, we're going to go through a lot of waste. You know, we're about almost 50 feet out, and I had a real hard time pushing my camera through this area. There was a lot of buildup. I would definitely recommend having this line cleaned, and then trying to evaluate whether this is a blockage that could just be cleaned or whether it's a belly. If that's holding waste because it's a belly, the only repair for that would be to dig it up and do a spot repair. And at this distance, there's a good chance that this is under the house. My camera head, I think we're not underwater at this point, but I have so much debris caught on the camera head now that we're not going to be able to see much. It was cast iron through here. I don't think it makes a big difference to see this part where it looks a little better, because my recommendation is going to be the same, that that area with all the buildup be cleaned. and that it be evaluated further. I did have a pretty hard time getting the camera through there. One spot in particular, and I don't know if it was a root that I was caught up on, or whether there's an offset under there that I was hitting, or if it was just simply a soft blockage from a belly. That, I mean, is in some ways worse. The best case scenario is if there's a root, you can jet it out, it'll be nice and clean and everything drains. If it's a soft blockage because of a belly, that means that you have a low spot and you can clean it, and that would help. That would prevent an immediate backup or blockage, but it wouldn't be a permanent fix. The only real fix for bad grade is to dig it up and re-slope the line. And this would be a hard one because that would be under the slab in the basement, and so it's very hard to get to. So first thing to do would be to clean it. They could locate it and find out exactly why there's all that buildup there. I'm going to end this recording now.